Good afternoon, fellow Plexers. Today's topic is slightly not Plex related, slightly Plex related. I want to show you how you can create quick and dirty artwork for titles in Plex that are missing a poster. So for example, this theatrical performance, The Royale, has a TMDB database entry but no artwork. And somehow I DVR'd this from someplace and there's no artwork for this either. And there's no entry at IMDb or TMDB either, and this is all edited from a web page that I pasted in, but I don't have artwork for this performance. So we're going to use GIMP under Linux, GNU Image Manipulation Program. But first we're going to grab some artwork from the internet. So I don't need this. This is just to show there's no official artwork while there is an entry for this show. So this one's pretty easy actually. The website for the show supplies some artwork. So I'm going to use this as my poster and this as a graphic in the poster. So I'll right click and save the image. And do the same for this. Save that image. And let's see. When I look this show up, now the New York City Ballet does the Nutcracker frequently. So I'm looking for artwork for the 2015 show. And if you read through the description, you quickly learn it's performed by the New York City Ballet. So I am simply going to grab this graphic and I did a search for the New York City Ballet and I think I'll grab this one. And let's see, in case it doesn't work, let's grab another one. This is the one I have. If I did some research, this might be cool, especially if the 2015 season happened to be the 75th season. Alright, so what's my alternate going to be? I'll grab this one. Okay, so we're done Googling images. So now we're into my download directory, and let's just open everything up in GIMP. Let's see if I can do it this way. So there's some conversions that have to take place. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is show you how I cheat. Let's see, we don't need that anymore. By simply having a calculator handy, so a poster for Plex is a 1 to 1.5 image ratio. So the first thing I'll do is I'll scale this by going to the image heading and scale image, and I'll leave the width alone and I'll make the height proportionate. So I'll uncheck the matching, and then my little handy calculator times 1.5 equals 426. I'll plug that in, I'll hit scale, and now this is perfect. So what I want to do now is bring this in. If I simply right click, edit, copy visible, and come back to this image, right click, edit, paste into place, you'll see the image is too big. On my Linux computer, Control Z gets rid of what I've done, it backs up. So I need to know how to resize this image to fit into this smaller image. So I'm simply going to click on the selection tool, which was already selected, and just draw a little square. And let me see here. get it about the size I want. And if you were looking down here, you'll see that you'll get the pixel by pixel representation. So if I go back up and change it, you'll see it's 102 by 115. So I think 102 by 102 is enough. So Control Z gets rid of what I was doing. Now I'll go back to the image I want and I'll scale this one. Again, it's image, scale image, and now I'll leave this locked because I want it to be matching. Now I can right click, edit, copy visible, come back, right click, edit, paste into selection, and now I can move it where I want it to be placed. And if I go to layer, anchor layer, I'm done. I can export this as a new image, or I can overwrite this. So if I overwrite it, it's simply a name change. If I want to export it, I can choose that, and I use PNG a lot. Okay, so now that it's exported, if I refresh, I have a nice little poster I could use. It's custom. I would have rather found a source that had a little bit more detail in it, but this is fine for what I want to use it for. So now let's do the Nutcracker. Okay, so I am going to use this as a base image and just see if it'll work. So again, with the selection tool, I'm going to be watching the image size down here as I select. So I want it to be something about this size, because I want to be able to put a graphic here and put some text here. So if I click back in, it's 1534 by 2174. So let me just take the 1534. So I need that to be 2301 for the height, and I can't get it. So now I'll reverse it. I'll do 2178 and divide that by 1.5. So I have to be at 1542 for the width. Let's do that again. 2180. $14.53. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So now I can shift this if I want to include her hand. And that may be enough to work with. So now I'm simply going to hit Control C on my keyboard, go over to File, Create from Clipboard, and I have my new image to start working with without destroying this image. So now we're going to again use the selection tool and just draw a square, and I'm looking down again to see that, let's see, 448. So 448 by 448 gets me a nice square. So let me go over to this and we'll resize it. Well, I'm not sure if I want that. Let me try this one first. Image, scale. Let's make the width 448. And let's copy it, edit, copy visible. We'll come back. Let me do a Control Z to get rid of that box. Right click, edit, paste in place. And I'm not liking that. So Control Z, we'll get out of this, and we'll come back to this graphic. So now we'll size it. Now we're going to make it larger. Image, oh sorry, right click, edit, copy visible. And I'm just going to do a Control V on my keyboard to paste it in. And let me see, anchor it down. I'm happy with that. You know, I might in a different world go in and edit this black border around it so it looks darker, but that's fine for what I'm trying to do. So now off screen I'm just going to copy the name and we'll add a text box and we'll start playing with this. So let's just try white text to start with. And let's pick a better font. I'm not quite happy with the layout. Let me increase the space. Okay, so I'm going to make this 2 text boxes. I'm just using Control Z to get back to where I want to be. Alright, I'm starting fresh. Something went wrong. Let me get rid of the nutcracker. Alright. Having trouble here. Okay, and let me do this. it a little wider, and I'll increase the spacing between the letters. Okay, so I'm going to anchor that down. I think that's, well, let's bring it down a little bit. I think that's good. So I'm going to anchor that with layer. Oops, sorry, image. Where am I? Layer merge down. So now I'll do a new text box. And just paste in the nutcracker. And let me add in the year. Select everything. And I will resize. And of course, I don't quite like the white text there. Well, I'm going to live with a white text. I'll tighten this up and bring the whole thing down further. So now this one I'll export as let me refresh my file manager, and now I have a usable poster for this performance. So the more time you spend on these, the more time you'll have to make it nicer, let's say, or more elegant, or more you can use more of your creativity. I am not a GIMP expert, but I can make posters pretty quickly, and some turn out better than others. So each of these I'd be fine to have in my Plex server. So anyway, just a little quick tutorial on the fly on how to create custom posters. Thanks for watching.